Beautiful here today in the Seattle area. It's blue skies and sunshine, and I love it. And like I said, Easter is coming. Yep, I like it. I am Loretta Brown, by the way. I'm the owner of Reiki Oasis, located right here in the greater Seattle area. And I got a few things coming up. This coming Saturday, which is just the day after tomorrow, on April 19th, my monthly class for women, the Temple of the Divine Feminine, is meeting. We're going to have a wonderful time. You can join us via Zoom or in person at Reiki Oasis in Bellevue, Washington. So find out more about that at schedule.reikioasis.com. And also, the big news is the trip to Egypt, September 30 to October 14th, with a 5-day extension to Petra, Jordan. Honestly, if you've ever wanted to go to Egypt, now is the time. They've discovered all kinds of things under the Giza Plateau, under the pyramids and the Sphinx. And of course, there's a lot of conjecture. The people that know better than I do, the scientists and the researchers and the archaeologists, are all talking about what it is that's under there. And there's differences of opinion. But if we take a look at the work of Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet, he said that things would be found under the paw of the Sphinx and the emerald tablets of Thoth, 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 the scribe of ancient Egypt and Atlantis. Also says that there are things underneath there. So this is a very divine, sacred trip. And please, if you want to go, I'd love to have you come along. It's a smaller group. We have lots of private, intimate sessions along the way in the temples. It's life transforming, life changing. And just write me, Loretta Brown, send it to reikioasis@gmail.com and say you're interested in the trip. I will send you all of the information. And I also have a discovery call, not this Sunday night, but a week from Sunday at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. If you want to sign up for that Zoom call, you can do it through the schedule.reikioasis.com. And if you want to go, I advise you to contact me quickly. The trip is filling up and it's magical. It's really powerful this year. I've gotten all kinds of information from my guidance about what it is that we're going to be doing, and you will want to be a part of it. So if your heart is tugging, this is the time to do it. Love to have you. And I'm going to jump into my astrology. The skies are buzzing with fresh, fiery energy this week, and I am an Aries. It was my birthday this week, and I'm feeling very Aries. I don't always feel so Aries. My beautiful astrologer friend sometimes tells me I'm the most un-Aries Aries she's ever met. But right now, all my Aries friends, I am feeling fiery. I like it. And it is time to break free from some of the old ways of life. We're kicking off just after a bold shift on April 16th, which was yesterday, when Mercury, the planet of communication, zipped into the fiery sign of Aries. Mercury, the planet of communication and ideas, is now charging forward, shaking off its retrograde shadow. This is like a cosmic espresso shot. Your mind's sharper. Your decisions are snappier. If you've been feeling stuck or unsure lately, Mercury in Aries hands you the confidence to take charge. It's time to speak your truth. Yeah, it is. Pitch that idea or finally hit send on that email you've been drafting. Just watch for impatience. Think before you blurt, because Aries can be impulsive. And you'll harness the energy just like you should. Take a breath before you do it. That's kind of what my mother would always tell me. On April 18th, Mars, the big, bold planet Mars, actually struts into Leo. I want you to get that idea in your head. And this combination of Mars and Leo is going to bring the heat. Mars, the planet of action, is picking up speed post-retrograde. And in Leo, which is also a fire sign, it's all about passion and heart. You might be revisiting themes from October of 2024. What was going on back then? Maybe a project or a desire that fizzled out, but now you've got a fresh perspective. I actually personally feel like the last few months, I don't know what was going on. I'm never a person that kind of loses track of time or lays around, but I have new inspiration to get up and get things going. And I hope you do too. Mars in Leo says, go big or go home. And it's perfect for tackling tasks with gusto or chasing what lights you up. This energy also tugs at your heart space, urging you to connect with your deepest desires. What makes you feel alive? Carve out time for play, creativity, or even a little romance. Just balance the fiery drive with rest. We don't want to head into burnout right now. And also because a lot of people are coming out of burnout. And on April 19th, Saturday, the sun settles into the earthy sign of Taurus, closing the curtain on Aries season, but obviously not the influence of Aries because it's around for a while. Taurus, the grounded earth sign, shifts the vibe to slow, steady, and sensual. And if Aries was about planting seeds of intention, Taurus season is when you nurture them with care. Think of watering a garden. What in your life needs your attention to grow? Yep, a relationship, a creative project, or maybe your own well being. Taurus invites you to focus your energy deliberately because where your energy goes, your intention flows. Um, I have to tell you that I remind people of that all the time. I sometimes say it like this: the plant you water is the one that's going to grow. So, are you planting the beautiful seeds of your life, or are you planting the seeds of discord and uh, yeah, like that? And stop myself from talking right there. So, this is also a time to savor life's simple pleasures: fresh flowers, a warm meal, a walk in nature. Slow down, get deliberate, find romance and delight in every day. And the sun will be in Taurus for Easter. So this is a great time to get together with our family and friends and really enjoy it. I also need to mention Venus. By the way, all planets are direct right now through, I think it's May 4th or something, somewhere in there. I advise you to take advantage of this direct, all the energies going forward to help you get things done. But Venus is direct after 6 weeks of retrograde, and she's hanging out in the watery depths of Pisces, sitting in what is complete and ending. And Venus in Pisces is deep. She's romantic there. But Venus direct in Pisces will make aspects to Uranus, Saturn, and the North Node for the third time each, highlighting how she is deeply shifting through karmic completions, healing, and soul growth experiences. It's a big time for all of us. Venus re-enters Aries on April 30th and makes a first ever in our lifetime conjunction to Neptune in Aries at 1 degree on May 2nd. And remember that Neptune in Aries, because Neptune moved into Aries at 0 degrees, is about bringing new dreams and higher understandings. It's actually about manifesting your dreams. So Venus is reemerging into new territory and becoming more of herself. And that's going to change everything. Because anything not in alignment with her new frequencies are going to be kind of revealed. The experience is very slow moving, revealing the importance of remaining in your intentions. Rebirth and renewal is occurring in Venus in all areas of our life: self-confidence, self-esteem, self-value, creativity, personal needs, finances, income, style, friendships, partnerships, love connections, self-development. I bet some of you didn't know that Venus rules all those areas, right? Especially looking at our relationships, how we are on planet Earth, and how much love is out there, how much self-love, love for others, and money, 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 money. This weekend, by the way, coming up, brings up matters that are going to continue through the end of April as we approach the third Mars-Pluto conjunction on April 26th. Saturn is conjunct the North Node at 26 degrees Pisces until April 22nd, bringing forward matters of soul growth that you are here to complete in this lifetime. So massive and interesting astrology, as always. I feel like for years, all I do is say, oh, here we go again. But from my heart to you, the listener, I am wishing you the very, very best time with your families, your loved ones. I think it's time to lighten up, to get out and skip around. And to my lovely friend who is Skipper, she skips around. I sent her some love this morning. And I just hope you have a really, really great time. Remember, we are greater than the stars, and they're just helping to direct us sometimes into doing that internal self-growth. So, Mr. Benny.
Yes.
Where are we at?
Well, unfortunately, our guest is unable to show up for today's show. Some technical difficulties. So we're going to go and have to reschedule with Moumita, and our apologies. But we will bring an encore show to you that I dug up from Vincent and Genna. It's the secret that holds you back.
I love Vincent.
That should be a good one we can touch base on for today.
I do. I love Vincent, Genna. And Betty Mathers, you are absolutely the best. Thank you I really mean it from my heart to yours. You are always there making magic. You're just the magician.
Just hopping around doing what these little Easter bunnies can do with me.
So now I got to figure out whether it's going to be eggs, peeps, potatoes.
I mean, it's sky's the limit, I guess. You can choose whatever you want.
Yeah, you can choose whatever you want. Lots of love to everybody. Please enjoy this show with Vincent and Genna, and we'll see ya. I can't wait to bring my guest on. My guest today is Vincent Genna, MSW. He's a world-renowned psychic healer, a psychic therapist, a medium, a medical intuitive, and a highly respected spiritual teacher. He's also a dynamic, animated speaker who receives and deciphers messages from the other side to help improve our personal lives. He is the author of Lifting the Veil and Revealing the Secret That's Holding Us Back. Vincent's highly evolved skills, healing presence, and compassionate intent to guide people to live their best lives have made him one of the most sought-after media guest experts and keynote presenters globally. Welcome to the show, Vincent.
Well, thank you. It's great to be back here, Loretta. I always enjoy speaking with you. It's always a lot of fun and very deep and intense, too. The Lion's Gate is so important right now, especially for me. I'm going to be jumping through that gate.
I love it. And I couldn't think of a better person to have on my show for the Lion's Gate, because you to me are a lion, Vincent, you know? Yeah.
It's so funny. Don't tell the Aries part of me. Even I do have Leo, but I forget the rising and the ascending, the moon and everything, but I know Leo is one of them.
So are you an Aries sun sign?
Oh, yes, I am Aries, April 1st. So you can't get more Aries than that.
Well, hello, my fellow Aries, because I'm Aries on April 14th.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
I'm very Aries. That's why we like each other so much.
Absolutely, absolutely. Usually Aries can conflict with the egos, but we've done so much work on that. We can use our abilities and our strengths together. So that's what I love about that teamwork.
I do too. I love it so much. Well, you have so much to share with us, but I want to ask you just this question coming out of the chute. What is it that you are most excited about right now?
What am I most excited about right now? Boy, that's a really good question. Okay, what am I excited about? All right. I'd be lying if I said I'm excited about how people are going, the direction they're going in.
Yeah.
There are some people that are going in that direction. I would be lying if I said that I'm excited about how people are applying all this incredible information that we're putting out there. I guess what I am truly excited about is there's enough information out there for you to change your life. And we are in a different place knowledge-wise or book-wise or information-wise, but we are not in a different place growth-wise or evolving-wise. There's too many still behind the 8 ball when it comes to that, Loretta. You know, I always look back, when I look at the stories in the Bible, they were very metaphysical messages for us. It wasn't an historical account of every single detail that happened back then. They didn't remember all those details. They just put it together. They used the stories. They used some of the characters to make points, and points for us to grow with. One of the greatest stories that would be good right now is the Sodom and Gomorrah story. Sodom and Gomorrah is a story about a city that was going to be destroyed by God because of all the sinning that was going on. That's the supposed message. When in reality, it's a metaphysical message about that because we're divine beings and co-creators, we are connected to a force, and we can use that force to our benefit or to our detriment. Okay? And so in Sodom and Gomorrah, all the corruption that was going on at the time, right, was causing all of this negative energy happening. So, of course, we know the story that the angel came down, found Lot. Lot was a very spiritual person, told Lot, go find 11 people, and God's not going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. That, 11 spiritual people. If they're spiritual minded, it'll stop the entire destruction. Okay, go find them. Okay, he couldn't find 11. So the angel said, all right, try 9. Maybe you'll get some earthquakes, a couple of fires here or there, but not full destruction. Just get 9 and everything will be okay. And he couldn't find 9, and he said, okay, take your family, get out of there. Sodom and Gomorrah is going to hell in a handbasket, and don't look back on it and be sorry for everything that's going on there. Just leave it. Okay, leave it be. That is a story of critical mass. Critical mass. Critical mass is the least amount of positive and spiritual use or work with energy can overtake a tremendous amount of negativity. Okay, so what am I excited about? I'm not excited over the fact that we have enough. We have not reached critical mass yet. Okay, because otherwise we would be reversing everything you see going on in the planet today, including the people. Okay, now we have the opportunity because there's a lot more luminaries in the world today than there were a long time ago. And these luminaries are presenting really good, profound information, putting it out there like yourself, Loretta, for us to be able to take, apply, and reverse all the negative that's going on. So we're not at critical mass yet, but I'm excited over the fact that we could be. There's where my excitement is.
I love your answer. I love that answer, Vincent. That lit me up.
Well,
and
it lit you up. It sounded pretty negative to me to start with. That's okay. Benny's in the control room laughing right now. I know.
You know I
know
am.
he is. I know, but I just, really, Vincent, that couldn't have been more on track and to the point, really, of probably my entire message and your message too, and maybe the theme of our show, that, if all we do is look around ourselves, or even listen to our voices in our head, don't do that, right? It can be a very dark, scary place. Like, is there any hope? What happened to hope? What happened to faith? And might as well just give up and eat Cheetos and binge watch, Netflix or something, right?
No, I almost started that.
Did you?
Yeah, I've been eating the Cheetos. Yeah.
Okay. One of my clients taught me how to eat Cheetos with chopsticks, but I think that's the name of your next book. Anyway.
Yes. So you don't get all the orange stuff all over
right.
Your I love it. Okay, I'm going to try that now.
Right. Yeah. See, that goes along with the same idea, though, that we are here to help shift that. We are bridging, right? We're going from this darker place into this lighter place, and I think it really ties in with the theme of your book too. Like, how do we, because this is where we're at. Am I just going to be binge watching, fear porn, or news, right? Or am I going to figure out how to do the work maybe I need to do inside myself, or be able to be the one that carries the candle,
right?
Right. Well, that's what my book is about. The secret that's holding you back is the fact that you don't believe what you think you believe, and most people don't. That is the bottom line theme of my book. People don't believe what they think they believe. Why? Because the brain actually created situations to help people cope in life and get through daily living, right? And I have my psychotherapy degree, just to remind everybody. And so one of the things that we learn proficiently as a psychotherapist are coping skills to teach people, because life is very stressful and people come into your office as a therapist with either depression, anxiety, stress, and even if they don't go into the office, which they should, by the way, 3/4 of the world right now should be seeking therapy, and they're not, because of all of the stress that's out there. It's affecting everybody in some kind of way: the health, your relationships, your finances, your career and vocation. It is affecting all of that in some way. Okay. And so the brain helped to create some of those coping skills just to get you through the stress. But here's the problem with the coping skills: they don't help spiritual growth and evolvement. As a matter of fact, coping skills block it. Why? Well, here's the thing. We are co-creators. How do we co-create? We're connected to sources, powers, source, the law of attraction, the force, shall we say, as in George Lucas' Star Wars, right? We're connected to that. And we use it on a daily basis to manifest either what we want or what we don't want, but we're manifesting all the time. So how does that make any difference with what I'm talking about, coping skills? Okay, your brain has two highest functions. Every human brain, right? One, to keep us alive. That's the highest function. The second highest function is to protect us in order to keep us alive. So we know how it protects us physically. For example, the coronavirus, it came with a fever. You have a low-grade fever, you got coronavirus, right? Well, it wasn't the coronavirus that causes the fever. It's actually the protective mechanism of the brain raising your body temperature to an unlivable environment for the virus, hopefully to kill it. Now, it's not paying attention to the fact that the fever is uncomfortable, or if it raises it too high, it can actually kill you. So its agenda is get rid of the virus. All right. That's one way it protects us physically. But what about when you're walking around with negative self feelings and emotions that were created for you from your youth, from the negative messages you receive from the environment? Those, I call them the I'm nots. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not loving enough. I'm not worthy enough. All of those I'm nots compiled together would keep us from functioning on a daily basis. Boom, here comes the defense mechanisms and the coping skills to help us live a new life a better way. So what it does is it shields those and suppresses and represses those beliefs, and it creates a whole new level of beliefs that help you protect yourself from those painful feelings. Now, there are some people that we can see that don't have those good defensive mechanisms. Those are the ones that are walking around with depression, with anxiety, and here comes the psychotherapist to teach them a way to block that. So we're blocking our true beliefs about ourselves. So what does that matter? That's where we're connected to the force. We are not connected to the force in our conscious minds. Our conscious minds only account for 2 to 5% of the entire mind. 95 to 98%, Loretta, of the entire mind is in unawareness. So when people walk around saying, I know what I'm thinking, I know what I believe, no, you don't. You have no idea what's going on in there. That's 95 to 98% of unawareness. So those unconscious beliefs, which we have an accumulation of, little you is still in there with all of those negative self-beliefs. That's what's influencing the manifesting power. And so is also a little, a false thought that thoughts manifest and create. We hear that in all of the law of attraction teachings. Yeah. Your thoughts create. Whatever you think is what's going to create. Actually, that's not true. It's what you believe is going to create. And what you believe in your unconscious mind, not your conscious mind. Think about that for a moment. If thoughts actually created, half of the world would be dead right now, and the other half would be billionaires from winning the lottery all the time from a single thought. Oh my God, when I was growing up with my brother, as soon as he punched me and hurt me, I'd say, drop dead. Now, could you imagine if I had that power? He would, oh my God, my mother's going to kill me. Oh, she yelled at me when I broke a lamb. Now I killed his son. You know what? It's like, that would be ridiculous. So it's not in the conscious minds. It's in the unconscious minds, and it's influenced and ruled by our beliefs. But our thoughts influence our beliefs. So that's what's getting in the way, and it's an anomaly that comes with being human. And as long as we understand what's getting in the way, we can work with it. That's why I wrote my book. That's what it's all about, Loretta.
Wow, that is so, it's so rich and spot on and wonderful.
Well, thank you.
I love it. I read your book and I like your book.
Thank you.
Your book. Everybody should just get the book. I'm just going to tell people it's called Lifting the Veil and Revealing the Secret That's Holding Us Back. Yes. And it was funny when I read that title, because I was thinking about that movie from a while ago, The Secret, which you touched on. And I remember watching that movie years ago going, they're leaving something out. It's not quite right. And I think you just said it. So
it's down in there. Yes, it's deep down inside. So, and anybody can get it on Amazon. There was a quick advertisement, but anyway, the point is, you've got to bring it to the surface, what you're really thinking about yourself. That's why I said most people don't believe what they think they believe. They want to believe that they're lovable. They want to believe that they deserve a good job. They want to believe that they should have good finances. But everything keeps getting in the way and not happening the way the law of attraction says it can happen. And that's because they don't understand that they may be saying and consciously believing that they deserve or that they're lovable. The proof of the pudding is in the outcome. If you still don't have a partner, loving partner, if your finances are disrupted or you're living paycheck to paycheck or don't even have them, anything, that means you don't believe what you think you believe. And something deeper is controlling your manifesting.
Crazy. Wow. Yeah, it is crazy. But we're actually going to take a little station break. But before we do that, I want to just say, a lot of people do this thing and they'll go, no, Loretta, I know I'm worthy. I know I could have that. I know I could do that. And, but yeah, they don't have it. The other thing is I often hear people, they'll say something and, like, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. And then they'll go, oh, erase. And that doesn't get,
erase.
Doesn't quite go deep enough. So anyway, we're going to take a little station break. My guest today is the amazing Vincent Genna, who I dearly love very, very much. Soul to soul brother. Yes, for sure. And his book, Lifting the Veil, Revealing the Secret That's Holding Us Back. Please don't go away. When we come back, we're going to even pull the veil back further. Who knows? Yeah. This is Loretta Brown. We'll be right back.
Do you make a positive difference in the world? Do you have a talent, philosophy, base of knowledge, product, or service that you know could help a lot of people if only you could reach them? Join Alternative Talk 1150's family of broadcasters and start walking down a fruitful path. As host of your very own program, dial 425-653-1150 and find out just how affordable it can be to have a show on 1150 AM. That's 425-653-1150. Alternative Talk. We have an opportunity waiting just for you.
Energy is powerful. It's all around us, mysterious, full of potential. Directing positive, healing energy to raise your vibrational rate through Reiki can change your life. Reiki Master Loretta Brown has relieved stress, sadness, anger, and even helped clients lose weight, stop smoking, and end sleep disorders. Worldwide, people have sought out Reiki Oasis. If you want help with your dis-ease, visit ReikiOasis.com. Harness life's energy. Visit ReikiOasis.com today.
Blind, low vision, eyesight changing? You are not alone. Connecting with blind and low vision people can provide support and expand your understanding of what is possible. We are making our own choices every day, but we are also stronger together. To learn more, visit us on the web at blind.org. The National Federation of the Blind. Live the life you want.
Talk radio for the heart and soul. Alternative Talk 1150.
Can't dance anymore. I will dance for you, my friend.
I'm living vicariously through you.
That's absolutely. Welcome back to the original Loretta Brown Show with my wonderful guest, Vincent Genna. And I want to remind everybody, kisses, everybody. It's the Lionsgate. We can feel it. My hair's standing up on end. And a reminder that these shows are archived at the KKNW 1150 AM archives for the original Loretta Brown Show. You can go download them. We're on iTunes, Spotify, X, Megaphone, YouTube. I know I left something out, but please just go find it and download it, listen to it over and over again. So, my dear friend, the author of Lifting the Veil, Revealing the Secret That's Holding Us Back. We have a couple more things, a whole lot more things to cover. And I asked you early in the show, what is it that's you're most excited about, right? Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so now I'm going to ask you, so what is it that you're not excited about? What would, as they say, make you turn the tables over in the temple?
Oh, yeah. That is my favorite way of putting it, because that way it aligns me with Jesus, who so that way it's not, oh, what a, Debbie Downer. He's so nasty and terrible. It's like, hey, Jesus did turn some tables and called some people hypocrites as well. So I'm in good company when it comes to this. This is what bugs me the most, Loretta. Okay. We have a lot of practitioners out there, let's say, in our field, okay? Mm-hmm. In the field of metaphysics, paranormal spirituality, okay?
Yep.
And some of the things that I have heard them say, not when they're talking with people, because here's the funny thing. I go to all these, if I'm not speaking at the conference, I go to attend the conference. I want to hear what's being said. I want to hear what people are being drawn to. I want to learn myself, as well as, take whatever workshop or listen to the lecture that the person or the expert is talking about. And you hear all these wonderful words, it's right when they're in public, when they're dealing one-on-one. Okay. And then I come to find out that all the other side of them and all the negative things, you see a lot of that on Facebook postings. I have a lot of clients who have told me things that other practitioners have told them that is so damaging
Yes.
and so harmful to them. I am like, I have to hold on to something because my head's going to explode, because I don't know how to completely stop it other than giving my message out there, right? And to help this person. That gets my craw the most, is an unhealed practitioner that is filtering and not walking their light and their talk. They can talk good. Now, this is funny because this is actually written again in the Bible, okay? And Jesus said it in spiritual matter. We can admit that. Not religious. I'm not religious. I'm not Christian at all. I don't believe Jesus to be what they say he is. I know in a different way what he is. A higher brother and sister who came down here to show us that we were not who he was. Okay. So one of the things that he did say is there will be those that dress the part and speak the part and look the part, but don't walk the part because it's not in their hearts. Their actions are different than their words. And therefore, everything they teach will fall by the wayside. We have to examine that phrase a little bit. That's not just saying there'll be charlatans out there. No. They could be teaching the right stuff and people are taking their classes. And maybe temporarily, those words helped this person. But because the messenger was sour, the words will no longer work. They have no power to them. So even if you're applying the words, if you received it from a false messenger, they won't have the same effect on your life. So to me, that's more detrimental, because that not only have you fooled the person, because that's not who you really are as a teacher, right? As a luminary, as a spiritual master, whatever you want to call yourself, right? But now you've taken great words, great teachings, great understandings, and you ruin them.
Yeah.
You ruin the effect that it's having on the people. Why do you think it's taking so long for us to evolve here, Loretta? I am not the one who believes that we are more advanced than ever. We have taken such baby steps in our growth spiritually. Oh, yes. Get an iPhone. They're coming smaller, beautiful. Oh, you can unfold them and everything. And you can call everywhere. You can almost call heaven on these. And they're working on that. Apple's working on that app. We speak to God in heaven. And everybody wants to think because our technology is advanced that we're advanced. We are not advanced. We are still fighting equal rights for humans. That shows right there we are not advanced. Okay? We are still back. Now, is there enough, again, information out there to help us become advanced? Absolutely. And we were talking about that earlier too, right?
Yes.
How much teaching is out there? How much teaching? There's so much teaching out there now. Once the New Age movement started, they just started letting all the information out that they've had. Okay, people can handle this. The Kabbalah, that was hidden, right? That was a book of mysticism that only certain advanced rabbis were able to access that information. Let it out. Let the public, they can handle it now. Let it all out. All ancient, all the stacks of books that were written and discovered in Tibet and all of those countries over there. Let it out. We have all of that so that we know. And more keeps coming out as to who we are. And more people keep trying to apply it, right? They are definitely looking at it. But right now, we've become one big giant storehouse, again, of this incredible information. And so it all is nothing but books and libraries and information if it's not used. It's all worthless unless it's used. And using it means not just listening, not just attending, not just watching and participating in classes and all of that. It's applying daily, hourly. moment to moment, because there's so much of our own personal healing we need to go through, which is then what's going to heal outwardly. But it's sitting on the shelves. And now I'm not talking about the bookshelves, because the new thought, self-help, spiritual book publishing business is over. And this I researched 15 years ago. 15 years ago, it was a $33 billion business with all of the affirmation decks. $33 billion, not million, billion. Now, it's certainly up there today. And I'm talking about all the information, that's out there. Yes. So with all that's already out there, okay, here we are in 2024, right? Watching the earth going through unbelievable, horrible changes, right? Destroying, killing people killing people, countries bombing other countries and killing people, madmen shooting off missiles and at people, mass shootings all over the place. Now, I'm not bringing that to light to make everybody go, oh man, I feel crappy today now. I'm bringing that to light because you need to understand what needs to be healed.
Yes.
Don't sweep it under the carpet just because there is all this wonderful information. Yes, but we're going in a good direction. Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah.
At the store, we got the material. Now we got to apply it. And you will know that you're going in a good direction because things will change in your life and things will change around you. That's the proof of you going in a good direction. Not just because you're saying it, not just because you can recite it, but because you can prove it.
I put like 80 million gold stars on what you just said. I think it very much needed to be said, Vincent. It needs to be said. A lot of people run around and there is so much information out there that I think it's overload, too much information. And I call it glossy information. Everybody has this idea, it's going to be, rainbows and butterflies. But we're at the point where I feel like we need to pull the carpet back. We need to, get the furniture away from the wall, take a look at the cockroaches and the spiders, roll your sleeves up, and bring out the boxes from the back of your closet and open them up. This woundedness that we carry within us, this victim mentality, this idea, and Vincent, I didn't even. It was not an oversight, really. Your story is amazing. The abuse that you have endured, the journey that you have gone on in order to get to this place that you're at. You embody your teachings, and I do my best to do the same thing, because unless we, the quote healers, the teachers, unless we do the hard work and become the alchemical medicine for those, we're ineffective. And there's a verse in the Bible that says something about, but they lack the power thereof. All of this glossy talking, all of this loveliness, like do this little meditation and dance around over here. And then people go back home and they go back and they're stressed out and they're fighting with each other and they have no hope. And so there's the whole thing. But yes.
Oh. Absolutely, because again, they're not applying, they're not believing what they think they believe, because they're not pulling. I love the way you worded that. Pull the box out of the closet, and a very deep inserted box way back in the closet, and pull that out. Then no, they're not going to heal. They're not going to change their lives. And yes, we are walking around when you see people, and this here. People ask me this all the time about people's evilness, okay? We are kind of like, barometers, right? If you want to know what a person has been through, you can use this barometer, okay? To the extent that a person is lashing out on others, is the extent that they despise and not love themselves. Always. They have been abused. Now, yes, Loretta, you mentioned about my abuse in my life. Now, this is interesting. I did not take that route and become an abuser because I was abused. Thank goodness. Okay. If anything, I've taken more things out on myself, okay, than I have ever taken out on other people. And I'm grateful that, yes, you know, it's funny. A lot of people will say, well, God guided me by the shoulders. Well, let me tell you something even about God. All right. God could guide you by the shoulders, but if you're digging your heels in and you're wanting to go this way, while God has his hands on his shoulders and want to move you this way, and you're resisting, it can't move you. It can't get you to where you should be, because we have free will. And it goes, okay, you want to go that way, I can't stop you. I try to make you go this way. So yes, I feel that I must have had hands on my shoulders, but I've got to give myself credit for at least going in this direction. Now, that doesn't mean I didn't make some jig-jags and didn't hurt some people surfacely, not intentionally. I remember, times in my life where, I might have been a butthole at times. But never have I ever harmed anybody or intentionally wanted anybody to be hurt. And so I'm grateful for that, because that at least led me on the direction. Matter of fact, the whole reason why I became a spiritual teacher and psychic therapist and medium is because I desperately wanted to help a friend. And at the time, he was going through such strife in his life, and I didn't know how to help him because I was a professional singer, actor, and dancer at that time, and had no means, no credibility whatsoever to be able to offer him any advice whatsoever. So I begged God for the ability to be able to help him. And that's when this all happened. Oh, wow. Okay. Yes. You're asking, you want some help here. Here's all these tools. And then it was just everything awakened within me. So it was a selfless thought, and again, I still resisted. So as I was come on, we'll get you over there. And I was like, but I don't want to go over there. I want to go over here. So it took me a long time before I really honored and accepted all of those gifts that I got, but I finally did, and which led me to where I am today. And so blessed by being on your show. But that doesn't mean little Vinny doesn't pop up every so often, because human Vinny is still scarred. Every injury causes a scar. And you may take care of the injuries and you can get far, but the scar is going to rear its head every so often. Just even on us naturally, right? Whenever you have a scar and you kind of bump it again, it gets inflamed or irritated, or an old bruise and injury. Right? You have to remember that. And depending upon the injury, there are some injuries, man, that don't ever completely go away. They just linger there. And so I feel that emotional and physical and sexual abuse is going to leave behind some of those injuries. So I have to deal with little Vinny all the time. Even in what just recently happened to me, and just was little Vinny. He just still doesn't always believe he's worthy or good enough. And I have to keep reminding him how wonderful he really is. Otherwise, he winds up manifesting behind my back, because it's down there in the unconscious mind. So all of us, and I know we have these hard times and these things happen, but this work is so worthy because my life has been incredible. My wife and I were just talking about that. Even with anything that is going on with me or that I might have caused, my life is still beautiful. Between all the experiences that I've had, the wonderful people that I was attracted to or attracted to me and meeting them, my family, my children, besides my wife, my 2 children, my grandchildren. It's been such a beautiful journey for me, but it's been work. And worthwhile work. All the work that I've done, I put into my book, The Secret That's Holding You Back. It's all in there because that's what changed my life, is 40 years of research, 40 years of studying metaphysics and spirituality and psychology. And I understand the work that's needed. And Loretta, people fear doing the work because they know it's hard, but it's the most worthwhile work. It really is. And when you get to the other side of that real working curve, you won't even look back and say that it was that hard. I'm glad that I'm here. That wasn't that bad. And you'll totally appreciate what you've done, but you've got to do the work. You've got to.
Got to do the work. And I'm just going to say this, Vincent Genna's book, Lifting the Veil, Revealing Secret. If you just get the book and begin reading through it, I think the understanding of how this is really working is really important. And also the powerful thing that you don't believe what you think you believe, right? And a lot of that, like I said, is because you've hidden your beliefs in a shoebox in the back of the closet. You don't really want to take a look at that. You're like, no, I'm all good. I'm all that in a bag of chips. But no, your little self back there is not okay.
Right.
Not
and
okay.
that matters so much. It's like I'm okay again. That I have a label. I give labels to different portions of the mind. And that defense mechanism that's trying to convince you that you're okay is very weak. For some people, it could be strong enough to work for them for quite some time, but eventually, either early or later, it is going to fall apart and you're left with just you and where you don't want to be. And I get people calling me at 24 years old, 21 years old that have already felt that. And I get people 95 years old. I actually had a client, 99 years old, still wanting to grow and evolve, and was asking me how. And the greatest thing is, our journey here is to discover ourselves and finally fall in love with ourselves and get to know who we really are. So even if it's on the last day and moment of your life, physical life here, then you would have accomplished everything you set out to accomplish. Don't look at your life in accomplishments over an entire period. Your whole life is one journey to just discover you, not to become a CEO, not to become the president of this, or to have a New York Times best-selling book out there. It's going after it. It's about knowing that you're unlimited. It's about feeling worthy that you deserve your dreams, because the day you get your dreams, you may decide to leave. I'm done. I did it, and the most important factor is that you believe in yourself enough to go after it. That's what matters here. So it doesn't matter how long it takes, how short you get it done, that you did it. That's what you're going to be satisfied with when you get to the other side, is that you tried, you went after it, you believed in yourself enough. You didn't have to actually achieve that final whatever goal that you set for yourself, because we set ridiculous bars for ourselves that no human can achieve.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host